Hey Shackers, it's time for another episode of This Week in Switch 2. It's episode 24. And if you're keeping track at home, there are 65 days left in Doug Bowser's reign of terror at Nintendo of America. We don't really mean anything mean by that. We love you, Doug. But you know, Bowser, bad guy. This is the podcast dedicated to Nintendo Switch 2 news and adjacent Nintendo news. And even some console news at times. But yeah, we got a jam-packed like episode for you folks. We had a lot of news. Like a ton of news this week, right? Like basically right after we posted our video, just a bunch of news. So you probably heard some of this, but we're going to break down a lot of what happened, get you up to date on everything. But before I do that, I got to introduce myself. I'm Asif Khan. I'm CEO, Editor-in-Chief, EIEIO of Shacknews. That means Extremely Intelligent Extreme Intelligence Officer. And in the world of AI, you need extreme intelligence, not artificial intelligence, because that's ass. I'm joined by my usual co-hosts. We got Donovan Erskine, our news editor here.
What's up?
And I got Head of Long Reads, David L. Craddock here, the L for Long Reads this week.
Right.
Fresh off of dropping a PlayStation 2 anniversary feature video on Sunday, and 24 till launch, the Making of Borderlands 4 documentary on Wednesday of last week. So a busy week in the video mines for you and our head of video, Greg Burke, who I think is still on break today. We had to give him a few days off because he was burning the midnight oil in the video mines. But
Yes.
yeah, enjoyed both the videos. It seems like people liked my story about how I swindled a bunch of people at Art Fair in Ann Arbor to buy my PS2. And yeah, the Making of Borderlands 4. I think that video is awesome. A ton of really cool stories there. You probably saw some clips that we posted to social. Seems like some people were writing about it on other outlets. So shout out to I think it was Games Radar Plus that I saw some articles go up
Yeah.
on. So shout out
Yeah.
to those folks for watching our video and linking to it. We appreciate that. And if you haven't, you should check it out. But yeah, I feel like we should just hit this Nintendo news. There's a lot of news. This is Shacknews, right? I heard the Pokemon franchise was dead. Especially because they didn't have voice acting in their game, Donovan. I thought that was gonna lead to a ton of people not buying it. But Pokemon Legends ZA has sold 5.8 million units. I believe it was in 3 days. The first 3 days of sales, globally, and that's pretty good. Also, I saw someone break down that it's 3 million units that were sold on Switch 2 in that time period. So that's pretty good for a brand new system that we don't even know how many units are out there in the world right now. And this is a $70 game, right? Uh,
70 on Switch 2, 60 Switch 1, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, $70 on the Switch 2, 3 million units. Some people are trying to say this is like the worst, is really bad or horrible. I was talking with our editor, our guides, head of guides, Sam Chandler, because he's kind of our late night news correspondent when Japanese news breaks, because he's over there in Australia. And it's really hard to compare this apples to apples with like Scarlet and Violet, Donovan, or like a mainline game, because there's, in that case, there's two SKUs out there, right? There's Scarlet and Violet. This is just ZA. There's not like a Z and an A.
Exactly. There, I mean, you can't overstate the difference between them releasing two games at once and one, because a lot of people do buy both. And yeah, you just naturally you're selling two games versus one. Also, there is a much larger level of like excitement and anticipation for a new generation of Pokemon games, right? Like Scarlet and Violet added a new region, new Pokemon, new starters, and everything. ZA, I love it. I know the Pokemon Company says it's a mainline game to them. I see that as real, it's corporate speak, because really it's by all any way you would define it, it's a spin-off, but they call it a mainline game because that makes people care about it more. But at the end of the day, it's all existing Pokemon. It's
Mm-hmm.
new forms and stuff. It's an existing region with existing Pokemon, and the characters are new. And that's always going to attract slightly less people. I think a more logical comparison would be Gen 10 whenever that happens, maybe next fall, maybe 2027 when you get that new region and they reveal new Pokemon. Now, if that comes in, significantly below Scarlet Violet, then I think there's actually a conversation to be had here. But no, I think these are phenomenal numbers for Legends ZA.
And like I tried to put it in the context of the previous Legends game, Arceus or Arceus, whatever the hell they call it.
Right.
And I think that sold like 10 million units in its first month. So 5.8 million units in the first 3 days seems pretty good for a Legends game. Especially one that's, like I said, kind of straddling generations right now. And admittedly doesn't run as well on Switch 1 from what we've seen. It doesn't run poorly, but it doesn't run as well as it does on Switch 2. So yeah, interesting news. The analysts I've seen are not calling this bad. The jaboofers on the internet, which our video editor had to learn how to spell jaboofers, by the way, because I use it so often on this podcast. For the folks at home, it's Jaboofer and then S when you pluralize it, not a Z.
Yeah. Right.
Speaking of Z to A, I've been playing it. I actually like this game. So as a casual ass Pokemon fan who has not really been paying attention to the mainline games for quite some time, Donovan, I'm discovering these new Pokemon that I just haven't really encountered before. So, and I encountered some of them in Pokemon Go, but like for the most part, as a casual, I have not. So this is all new to me. I'm sure there's other people like me experiencing the Pokemon franchise or being brought back into the Pokemon franchise with this game. So at least I'm one of those 5.8 million people who bought this game. That seems like a good number. I think a lot of other companies would be doing backflips over that kind of number in 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of AAA games we'd be doing backflips to get those numbers that quickly.
It's something
but I mean,
like
it's just a testament to how big Pokemon is. It's just a monolith of a IP.
it's something close to like $400 million of revenue in 3 days. So like,
It's insane.
that seems good. It seems like you could probably afford some voice acting in your next game, guys. Just gonna throw it out there. But like I said last week, it's like some spreadsheet guy is like, it's not going to sell anymore if we spend $10 million more on voice acting. And it's like, yeah, I don't think they even would spend that much. But anyway, that is like the only criticism that I continue. I actually have one other critique. I'll get into it later in the show, though, because we got more news. This is kind of a fun story. So Mario will be taking part in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And he's in a flying pose, but he's not, Feather Mario in the superhero cape, David. He's not Raccoon Mario with his little tail and his ears. He's just Mario in a hat, but he's in the Mario Galaxy Mario flying through the space pose. So
Yes.
clearly they care about the Mario Galaxy franchise. Probably because of the movie, right?
Yeah.
The movie's
Yes.
coming. Maybe.
No.
Maybe
No.
because there's a third Galaxy game coming, you guys. I'm just saying, if there was ever a time, it's
This
now.
image, it's like in the middle. As I look, because I've like pulled up the Mario Galaxy box right now. Now I look at it, it's like it's Galaxy's like outstretched. He's like soaring. This one he's almost like Naruto, like arms tucked back.
It
I
also
haven't seen this
it
pose
ki-
specifically or anything.
it kind
I
of
guess
looks
it's for the float. It
yeah.
has to be like that.
I think it kind of is what he looks like in Super Mario 3D World, David, when he's in the clear pipes. So
Yeah, that is what he looks
he
like.
kind of looks like that too. So maybe that, but they came out and they're like, it's from Galaxy. They actually clarified. They're like, this is Mario from Galaxy.
okay.
So whatever that means, I'm going to keep
I don't
banging the
know.
drum for Galaxy 3. I just think it's they wouldn't have skipped Super Mario World for the movie title if they weren't like, this movie is a commercial for something. And yeah, last movie was definitely a commercial for Mario Kart. I'm sure they'll find a way to shove Mario Kart into this. They're gonna have to like drive to DK Spaceport to like go to space, right? Like, right? Isn't that what's gonna happen?
On Rainbow Road. We're in space. We're in Galaxy.
Another
It's
Rainbow
action.
Road, right? Because there was Rainbow Road in the last movie as well.
I don't know who like does the organizing for the floats and who goes in what order at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, but I hope that we get the Sonic float next to the Mario float, because Sonic's always there. I want them to like hold hands or like headbutt each other as they like float down the streets of New York City.
And like Pikachu's been at the Macy Thanksgiving Day Parade,
Pikachu's, yeah,
like
been there
several
much too, yeah.
times. So this isn't the first time they've done this, but clearly the movie marketing spend is starting to ramp up. Although we've had zero trailers. We had the name reveal. It's getting. Aren't we there? Like, shouldn't we be getting a trailer soon?
We're in that area, yeah, where I'm like, any week now, I would not be surprised. But it's also Nintendo, so who knows? Maybe we don't get a trailer till like the end of January. Just like the movie comes out in 2.5 months.
I doubt Jeff got it for the Game
Yeah.
Awards.
Ooh, that's interesting.
He did get an exclusive the last one though. Remember?
He did.
So it wasn't even a trailer, it was like a clip. Anyway, we'll see. You know, who knows? Jeff is the, Jeff Keighley, the God Emperor of video games. You know, he's been kind of quiet lately, but yeah, I think he's working hard. They got the Game Awards in December, right? So we got December coming up. We got Thanksgiving coming up. There's a lot of TV events going on, right? There's football, there's basketball. That would be an interesting time for them to drop an ad for this movie, which would, accompany, or like a trailer drop at the halftime of something. Like, I could see, especially with like NBC Universal now in the NBA game.
That's a good call.
Right?
Universal,
like,
yeah.
Peacock and NBC being like, tune into the whatever game on Thanksgiving or whenever. We're gonna have a trailer, because I know ABC does that with their and Disney does that with their movies on ABC and Monday Night Football. Yeah. So I think we should keep our eye out for a Mario Galaxy trailer, and I'm gonna hold out hope for Mario Galaxy 3, David. Even though you don't seem to, you just want your tacos at this point. It's just about the taco bed at this point.
I want tacos and I want a new 3D Mario. No Odyssey 2, no Galaxy 3, no 128. Just a new
128
Mario for a new Switch.
What about
you like that?
No, 128 it was a demo at Space
I know.
World.
There was.
Yeah, but it was on the GameCube. Before the GameCube released, Donovan, they showed this demo. I think it was 128 Marios on screen, and I don't know what that became. I think it became Sunshine eventually. Or maybe nothing. Because there were some demos. There were some demos at that Space World specifically, David, that just disappeared forever. The Twilight, whatever, like before the Wind Waker head fake, where they're like, we're going to make this really dark and adult-looking Zelda game, and then, poof, that went away forever. And it kind of came... Yeah, then we got Wind Waker. And then it kind of came back with Twilight Princess. And I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll get to the Zelda news here in a little bit. But yeah, Mario, Macy's, Thanksgiving, all good things. Keep an eye out for a trailer. But not for the game, according to David. No. We got some Switch 2 port news. So Factorio is getting a Switch 2 edition. That's cool. That seems like the kind of game that would benefit from mouse controls on a Switch 2.
I would urge any Factorio fans or people who plan on playing it for the first time on Switch to read the blog post that Twinsen, which is one of the devs, put up about this. It was pretty cool. Very insightful. He shows footage of him playing demos of it on Switch 2. He talks about how people have been requesting it on their website's forums. As soon as the Switch 2 got announced in January, there are already threads of is this going to be on Switch 2? He puts a little thing in here where he's like, hey, it's going to be free. We don't believe, let me find his actual quote, because he talks about the port being, the upgrade being free if you already own it. He says, we don't believe paying for a technical upgrade is reasonable. For players who want to support us and play more content, they can get the Space Age expansion, which is also getting Switch 2 upgrades. I thought it was really informative. He wrote a pretty long piece about this.
Free is awesome. And I love seeing that from these indie devs. A lot of indie devs are like, hey, Switch 2 version, have it. Which I think is a good thing. And yeah, they've had success in other ways. This is a complete tangent. I was talking with my brother about this indie game on the Wii U. from Tomorrow Corporation. You know, the World of Goo devs.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys remember Little Inferno?
Yeah,
The
sure.
name sounds familiar.
It was a game about like ordering stuff from like the Amazon of your town and then burning it to stay alive because you were in this town that's had winter for several years and like the only way to live was to consume and burn things. He was just like, hey, how did that game end? And it was like so many years ago. Like I sat there and I watched the ending. Man, talk about prescient, man. Like some of the things that dev has done. Like they did, I think it was like 7 billion humans. Like some of their games are like about AI taking over and automation and, you know, retail going under. And yeah, very interesting game. If you haven't played it, I kind of wish that came to the Switch. Because we were talking about it last week with like touchscreen games coming back to Switch. That's one that I think would be great to see it come to Switch or Switch 2. Anyway, yeah, indie games, good things. Factorio, Randy Pitchford's favorite game right now, according to our documentary, an outtake from our documentary. Some bad news about Switch ports. Should not surprise anyone. Elden Ring's Tarnished Edition is proving to be the most well-named version of this game. Now its release has been tarnished, David. It has been delayed. It has been delayed.
I think that's a good thing, given the performance issues we heard about earlier this year.
Yeah.
And the prestige that the Elden Ring and From Software names carry. I think a delay can only help this game.
Yes.
We've talked off and on all year about tech and Switch 2. I really think this comes down to engines. Like, we know how Resident Evil 9 runs on Switch 2. And the RE engine at this point is probably on par or even more sophisticated than whatever From Software is using. So I see no reason why Elden Ring shouldn't run flawlessly on Switch 2. It must come down to the engine tech, I would think. That's just speculation on my part, but it seems like it.
I think it's fair to say. I think there's also just the developers' understanding of the engine that they're working with. Because there's some UE5 games that are running better on Switch 2 than others. Fortnite obviously runs extremely well. It was a Switch 2 edition at launch, right? So, like, there are certain studios that are able to get a lot out of what they're doing. I think Tony Hawk's another example of that. Where there are some ports that are coming to Switch 2 and actually crushing it. And then, like, you know, like I believe was it Frostbite engine on for EA? It seems to run on Switch 2. So yeah, I do think it's an engine to engine case. But also, it's like FromSoft has had some bad ports on the original Switch 2. So it's not Switch 2, Switch also. God,
PC. We've had some bad ports on PC as well.
Exactly. So I do think that, yeah, this is fine. We'll be fine.
Nope.
Like, yeah. I think anyone who was like holding out to play Elden Ring, it's probably, I think it might finally go on sale sometimes. Maybe.
Yeah.
Every now and then you'll catch it for like $35 or something on like a Steam sale, yeah.
But like that took over a year, Donovan. It was a while.
It did, yeah.
It was a while before we got that. But yeah, we'll be fine. But yeah, not all this is good news today. Yeah, but we got a I can't remember what they called this. There's a new Fallout 4 edition.
Anniversary edition.
There we go. Is it the 10th? Is that what
the 10-year anniversary? Yeah, 2015. Yeah. So this is going to come out everywhere else on the exact anniversary date in November, and then they said Switch 2 in 2026. They did a little bit during the trailer where they were like, "We've got something else to show you." They pull out the Pip-Boy and they cycle through all the tabs, and then one of them's like Switch 2 2026. So
sweet.
I believe that's
awesome.
Fallout's first time.
Awesome. Super excited for them to bring Fallout 4 to that months after it's released on every other platform. We'll get to that. I have some thoughts on that. Microsoft publishing games, right? Anyway, Assassin's Creed, another game that came out earlier this year that's now coming to Switch 2. I believe it's getting a December release date for the Assassin's Creed Shadows game.
Yeah, that comes out December 2nd, so early December, which pretty cool.
Not bad.
Ubisoft's Ubisoft was one of the early ones on the Switch train originally, so
Yeah, but they weren't really that present at the April Direct, right? Like it wasn't,
they're not no.
and we didn't
Because they're
get.
French.
I don't think that's why. But they got like a. I don't know. I think they're not. The company's not doing great. Ubisoft's not doing well compared to 8 years ago. This is the fact. But also, like, they don't have that, hey, we're making this crazy Mario and Rabbids XCOM game. You know, like, there's nothing to beat their chest about yet. There's no new Rayman game yet. You know, yes, we're getting Assassin's Creed. This game came out earlier this year. It's not a bad Assassin's Creed at all. And yeah, it'll be out in time for Christmas, so that's always a good thing. The holiday season releases at Ubisoft, but it might be on sale on the other platforms when it comes out at full price on this. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But it looks good. And the other Ubisoft port this year, the Star Wars Outlaws, is actually it runs quite well on Switch too. So once again, going back to that whole like, hey, it's a freaking coin toss every time we get a third-party game that's announced for this. It's now going to be like, oh, okay. So yeah, we got Fallout 4 announced for Switch 2, David, before Doom: The Dark Ages, if we're keeping score at home. Which I am.
I know.
I am.
I am too.
Right.
I maintain that we'll see Doom: The Dark Ages on Switch 2 eventually. I feel like this was Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition's probably been in development for a little while though.
Sure.
Because of the anniversary. So
Also, so much older game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means it's the 10th anniversary of one of our most successful guides at Shacknews, How to Wait in Fallout 4.
In Fallout 4, that's right.
But the news doesn't stop. We got some Donkey Kong Bonanza news, David. I know you can't get enough of this game. The DLC, the Emerald Rush and DK Island DLC, it's getting in-game events. And what the hell is this one called, Donovan? It's like Chip
Fever.
Chip
was the
Fever.
first one.
So I think they're trying to make things easier for newcomers to the DLC. In-game events for this is really interesting. The skill ceiling in this specific DLC is very high. Like, there's like S ratings, but I believe you can like go to like much higher ratings. You know, it's like a high score driven roguelite, which is just an interesting concept for this game. I love that it's based on like, there's these like divine paths in each Emerald Rush where it's like, that's the way you're supposed to go to max out your amount of emeralds that you collect. As someone who really enjoyed the destruction part of this game more than most of the rest of it, like this is still fun for me. I haven't had a chance to get back to it because I've been playing other games, or mainly one other game. But yeah, it's a good thing. It's interesting to see this game get this. It makes me wonder, though, like down the road, David, if there was a 3D Mario game that had some kind of in-game event, that would be kind of cool, right? That we could like have this thing drawing us back in. So I think it's cool for these devs to experiment with that in a Donkey Kong game first. Because like Luigi's Balloon Race or whatever that was, like where you would hide a balloon and then other people would have to get it in a certain amount of time. I don't know if you ever played that mode for Odyssey. That was actually quite good. And it kind of kept the game alive for a little bit. But yeah, that's basically the Nintendo Switch 2 and Switch 1 news. Outside of two big ones. Let's talk about Hyrule Warriors first, because I have a lot to say about the Kirby Air Riders Direct. Hyrule Warriors dropped a new trailer. You guys watched it right before we recorded. It highlights the Demon King and the Imprisonment War and shows you a couple of things like we got another look at the mysterious construct is what they're calling it at Nintendo. Is that Link?
I think Link appears in this game in some form, even though he's not supposed to be there. Like I don't think the Dynasty Warriors series or its offshoots like this live and die by their narrative. Like I think there are some characters, and we'll talk about this because you brought this up before the show too. There's some characters who are dead but will probably still be playable just for the novelty of playing them. And I think Link is a character that will show up in some form.
Link.
You have to have Link.
Now Link's not dead. He's just not born yet.
No, he's not Link. Yeah,
He's not born yet. So Tears of the Kingdom has a time travel mechanic in it, right? Everyone who's played the game knows that there's this moment where you pass the Master Sword back to Zelda in the past, right? Like there's this moment at the Temple of Time. Obviously, the Temple of Time exists in Tears of the Kingdom. The Temple of Time didn't exist in Breath of the Wild. It did, but it was a ruin in Breath of the Wild. But it's real. The Temple of Time's there in Tears of the Kingdom. So, like, you guys know, like, remember those virtual presence robots that you would just, like, plop an iPad on top of? You guys know what I'm talking about? It was called Double Robot. It was like this robot on wheels. We actually had one at the Shacknews office in New Jersey for a little bit, like 11 years ago. But anyway, I could like actually, I would pipe into their, it was like via FaceTime or something, and I would be driving this robot around the office talking to people. What if this is a virtual presence construct that has time travel mechanics?
Cool.
I could see time travel for sure.
You know, because that's not Link. It's definitely a construct, right? They're saying, hey, this is a construct. But yeah, I don't know. Seems like a virtual presence construct is my theory, and it has some sort of time travel mechanic going on. And yeah, the last Hyrule Warriors also kind of had this like time travel thing that they threw in, and it was kind of a throwaway storyline just so that they could get the plot going. So maybe that's what's going to go on here. Other thing I thought was interesting about this trailer specifically was how prominently Queen Sonia is featured. You know, she's a character that's, you know, she's in Tears of the Kingdom for a little bit. But spoilers for a game that came out 2 years ago. That's one of the best games of all time. And if you haven't played it by now, I don't know what you're doing. But yeah, like fast forward 10 seconds. Queen Sonia dies. And Ganondorf takes her secret stone and slams it onto his forehead and becomes the Demon King. So if this game you're going to be fighting the Demon King the whole time, stands to reason that we're going to have to watch Queen Sonia die again. Which, like, it's a pretty epic moment. Because you see Ganondorf transform into the Demon King, right? Like, it's, you know, those Zelda moments where, like, the evil really feels like it's going to win, David? It's one of those moments. So I'm like, are we going to get to see that again? Are they going to reuse assets? Like, what are we going to see here? And, like, how early on? Like, are you actually going to fight as her? Because her power is light, right? And I believe that's... Zelda has the power of both time and light, which is interesting. But yeah, it's a... I'm curious how this game starts. I'm curious how they deal with this construct. And then the last thing I want to talk about, that little Korok that you can fight as. A lot of people are saying this is the origin story of the Great Deku Tree. And I'm here for it if that's the case. It seems like a lot of Zelda lore for a third party to be handling. But I think Koei Tecmo has Nintendo's trust with this IP right now because of the first Hyrule Warriors, which I thought was excellent, back on the Wii U, right? And then yes. The second one, it kind of ran like ass on the Switch.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad. Like, the game wasn't, like, the actual story wasn't bad or whatever. But then, yeah, I think this looks really good. And TJ talked about it on an episode, I can't remember, after Tokyo Game Show, where he had a chance to get hands-on with it at TGS. And everyone who's been playing the demo, apparently there's a demo available at some stores now, where they have those Switch 2 kiosks. But yeah, everyone's saying it plays really well. I'm interested in this. I don't really like Dynasty Warriors games, David, to your point. Like, I find them kind of boring. But I really like Zelda as a franchise, so I'll probably play this game. Or I may just talk to whoever's reviewing it for Shacknews whenever they are able to talk about it and be like, hey, what happens here and here and here? And if it's interesting enough, maybe I'll play. But yeah, at least the gameplay looks good this time. Because, like, it was a non-starter for me on Switch 1 just because of how poorly it ran. We're talking, like, sub 20 frame rates at times. This doesn't have any of that going on, and also the idea that I get to fight as a Korok is intriguing to me. Also, Zelda looks like a badass in this game. Any game where I can play as Zelda and she's a badass looks cool. Also, being able to use like the Zonai devices, that all is intriguing to me. I enjoyed that aspect of Tears of the Kingdom, the like creative Mario Maker-ish stuff that you could do with the devices. Putting those into a game of just about beating the crap out of enemies is intriguing to me. I'm curious where, the emergent gameplay that could happen from that. But yeah, trailer looked good. People seem very excited. And yeah, maybe we get a Deku Tree origin story. But just one, because, we've talked about this before, David, on pretty much every podcast I think we've ever done. The Zelda timeline is... it's a web of nonsense at this point.
Yeah, I'm interested in the timeline. I've always been interested in the lore. I don't go too deep, but I like how Nintendo does attempt to put events in order, even though they start out not caring about that, like trying to fit it into the timelines. And I think there are 3 now. It's something they do later in projects. So I'm always interested in how those turn out.
There's definitely an interweaving of Skyward Sword, Tears of the Kingdom, and Breath of the Wild. Like those are all kind of in the same universe now. So maybe this is Link from Skyward Sword, not Link. I'm really curious what Link we're dealing with here, because if that's really the founding, if Rauru and Queen Sonia were the founders of the Kingdom of Hyrule, is that the origin point for all stories, right? And then does that allow for any hero to be the one that travels back in time? Because there's several heroes. There's, we talked about it. Anyway, something to pay attention to. I'm sure people won't take it too seriously whenever it happens. But yeah, that game, I find a lot of Dynasty Warriors games to be repetitive, but sometimes they do a good job and they're just fun and like people can have fun with them. And I think that the Zelda community seems excited about this. I think it's cool that it's coming out this year. Like, it's turned November into a pretty busy month for Nintendo.
Yeah.
But now the main event. Kirby Air Riders looks like a banger all of a sudden,
Donovan.
Donovan.
November games, yeah.
Like, yeah, speaking of November games, Sakurai didn't have to go this hard. He didn't have to go this hard. He's making a Kirby racing game. And it's a remake of a freaking GameCube game that did you play it, Donovan? Did you have it? You had a GameCube?
The original GameCube, yes, I did. I didn't own Kirby Air Ride, but I played it with friends at their homes.
But like, you weren't like, oh man, I need a new Kirby Air Ride in my life. Like, that was not something you ever thought.
No, I didn't think we'd see that franchise again. It wasn't even a franchise. I didn't think we'd see that game again.
Yeah. Like, David, did you even play it back in the GameCube era?
I did not, no.
So, I don't know who this is for. Like, it's a very, very small group of people who were like air ride fanatics. And look, it's got its own speedrunning community. Like, I get it. There's people out there who love Kirby games in general. I'm one of them. But like, I also, that era, I was, we talked about it, David. Like, the PS2 was around, and that was like the adults console, and I was playing sports games and shooters, right? Like, or Tony Hawk. Like, there were so many other games that I was playing in that era, and also I was playing F-Zero GX. Like, there were other racing games on that platform, Double Dash, right? Like, there was a ton of really good racing games on the GameCube. So it kind of like went by the wayside for me. What I thought was really funny, last week I kept saying asymmetric instead of isometric, so apologies to the listeners. I listened to myself say asymmetric like 8 times last week. Sorry, I meant isometric. Isometric racing games. I was just talking about it last week, David. What does he lead the direct with? Top Ride.
Yep.
Which was this random mode in Air Ride on the GameCube that like everyone had forgotten. No one was like, we better get Top Ride back. No one was asking for it. Then he goes like super hard with it. It's like the best looking isometric racing game I've seen in like 10 years, if not longer, maybe 15, maybe 20 years. So it's like,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's cool. But no, he didn't stop there. These aren't just like made for top down. He like remade the tracks, like the 3D tracks. He like remade them for Top Ride. And like the same gameplay mechanics, Donovan, that you've already tried out at the preview event in air ride mode, they're all in the Top Ride mode. It's the exact same gameplay, just different perspective. I was like, are you serious? You didn't have to go this hard. Sakurai did not have to go this hard. No one was like clamoring for this, but now that it's there, I'm like, this is awesome.
The craziest part about it is that, like, if you remember from the first Air Ride Direct, this was like a Nintendo request. Like, Nintendo went to him and was like, hey, could you make another Kirby Air Ride? And then he was like, I will go harder than I've ever gone for anything ever. And then just made this game that's like teeming with content, seemingly. People have already started comparing it to other racers recently, but there's so much going on with this game.
Okay, so we gotta talk about this other stuff. This has like this intense online ranking system. So there's like the global point system, which is kind of like your global Smash score, right? But then there's also like a class that you get on your license, and that determines matchmaking. You have like these little cute license, like driver's licenses that you can like customize with like stickers and pictures, and I gotta say it, some of this is reminding me of an F-Zero game. Just in my head while I was watching the second Direct, which we have gotten an hour and 45 minutes of Nintendo Directs about a Kirby Air Riders game in 2025. Like, Nintendo they're going hard with this. Like, and it you know, I know, David, have you logged into Nintendo today since our last episode?
I have not. No.
It's
Well, if
not
you
a part of your
did,
morning routine.
if you did, it has become part of mine. If you did, you would see every day there's a Kirby Air Riders post in Nintendo Today. Like, they are pushing this hard. Why?
Wow.
I don't know. But, like, what if they let Sakurai make an F-Zero game? I know they won't. I know they won't. But what if?
Doesn't remind you of F-Zero at this point?
Dude, it's a fucking racing game. It's a racing game. We keep getting fucking racing games announced, dude. We got Sega making racing games. They made F-Zero GX. We have Mario Kart. Those fuckers made F-Zero. Like, we have fucking Kirby Air Riders. Make a fucking F-Zero game. What are you doing, Nintendo? Because, like, so much of this shit would be great in an F-Zero game. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, imagine if you had a developer who gave a fuck about the F-Zero franchise as much as Sakurai cares about Kirby Air Riders. Imagine. That's all I'm saying. I can't help but imagine. That's all I'm saying, David. Because, like, he goes into this huge list of other shit. That's not all. Like, he's like, here's Road Trip, and Road Trip's gonna combine all three modes, and here's the Paddock, and it's like this whole area where you can just hang out with your friends and emote. Like, I start watching this, and I'm like, is this like a testing ground for Smash? Is that what we're seeing? Like, is he figuring out how he's gonna make Smash Online not ass? Because the one thing wrong with the Smash series is online, right? Like, everything else was fine. Obviously, balancing is always going to be an issue in a fighting game, especially when you have 88 freaking characters. But, like, is this, like, why did he go so hard here? So that's my question. Like, it's fascinating to me. Another data point. Sorry, go ahead, Donovan.
I was just going to say, at this point, Sakurai is like, he's like worth the price of admission himself. Like, I feel like people are going to get into this game just because of him and his passion for it, and because a lot of people do know him as the Smash guy. And like, when you watch a Nintendo Direct, he seems like the only person who just speaks from his mind during those things. I mean, I want to read this quote he said during the last one where he goes, "Just so you know, we're not planning any DLC. Everything is here. Also, I'm not planning on making this an ongoing series." That's just like a phrase you would never hear anybody else say in a Nintendo Direct ever, I feel. And he just says this so casually. Yeah. He's just so candid, and I think that really endears people to him.
It does. But also, like, I was talking to David about this. I think he's the closest thing we have to Satoru Iwata left at Nintendo, and I know he's not even at Nintendo, but his candid nature and the way that he honestly speaks to the fans, it reminds me of how Iwata would talk during Directs, or even in the Iwata Asks sections, or wherever. Like, if you ever saw him do his GDC keynotes, like, he was honest. And I think that Iwata is an inspiration for Sakurai. I think that, like, he went hard with Smash Ultimate, and it was like, it almost killed him, right? He took a lot of time after they shipped Sora, right? And after the last balance patch, and he kind of just, he made his video channel, and he really sat there, and it was almost like introspective about what makes a good game, and what he feels like he did well in the past, what he feels like he did poorly in the past. He like spent a few years doing that during the pandemic, right? Then he comes out of it and then gets this project. And it's like, dude, of course there's no DLC, Donovan. He has like a fucking cosmetics store in this game where you can get like different sunglasses for your characters. Like, every single thing he did in this game, it's like, I get why people are comparing it to other racing games, I guess is my point, David. Because, like, I can't pick the sunglasses for my character in Kart World. I have to, like, unlock a specific outfit, right? Like, it's got details that Mario Kart World would be better with. Like, I would love to have a driver's license that I could customize in Mario Kart World. Now, I do have a driver's license that I can customize in F-Zero 99, so shout out to those devs. But yeah, like, I look at how he made this game, and I'm like, is this game gonna be better than Kart World? Like, is it possible that this is better than Kart? Is it?
Those are already like the grumblings I see on Twitter right after the direct. You start to see people be like, "Oh, this has more going on than another certain racing game." When you just look at the sheer amount of modes and ways there are to play this game, and the customization.
Now, like, you played it, Donovan. It doesn't play like a kart game. It is
no.
It's very different. So, like, I think there's room for all of this, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, if you look back at the N64 era, there was room for Diddy Kong Racing, F-Zero X, and Mario Kart 64, and San Francisco Rush, and all those third-party Beetle Adventure Racing, like 1080 snowboarding, whatever, Wave Race, right? Like, there was room for all of these. And I think there might be room for more racing games. But also, I think this game is not just a racing game. It's like a combat game. He mentioned that the vehicles are sentient. I don't know if you picked that one up, Donovan. Like, when you blow up someone's vehicle, David, there's like this little, they scream in pain and agony when they die.
That's dark.
It is! It's fucking weird. This game is weird, man. There's something very strange about this game. And, like, yeah, he's still still says there's stuff that he hasn't announced. Yeah, they went hard with everything, man. There's, like, I think the online play is intriguing. I agree, Don. The idea that no DLC. That implies that this is done. Like, he has already moved on to his next project, right? Like, he's already working on Smash, most likely. And it's just funny, because, like, when I agree, I thought he was going to make a game that wasn't Smash after Ultimate, because I was like, what do you do after Ultimate? But I had been clamoring for, like, another Kid Icarus Uprising. For this to be the game that he made is just so weird.
It is.
And for him to go this hard, like, how can you not love this guy? Like, I don't think he only has one mode. Like, I don't think he can make, like, sure, some of his games aren't home runs, but, like, I think he is one of those devs that does the best that he can with the technology that he has. And that's impressive.
I think he has, it definitely is. And I think he only has one mode, but I also feel like after over a decade of Smash, he had so much creativity built up that he just unleashed it on this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how could he not go hard, really? Like, he was probably like, finally, I can do something else, and made this.
And, like, he went back and he played the first Air Ride, and he was like, I'm gonna remake every level. I love this song. I'm gonna put the song here. We're gonna, like, by the way, Kirby Air Ride music dropped on Nintendo Music the day of this Direct, and some of the songs from Air Riders dropped the day of this Direct. So maybe Nintendo is learning. Use Nintendo Music to promote your games, and maybe more people will get interested in your games. Mario Kart World soundtrack. Anyway, it's just like, it's crazy, man. This was like, we were talking about last week. how could there be another hour direct about this? Well, I'll tell you how. That thing was packed full of information, Donovan. I had to watch it multiple times because I was like, I missed some stuff. I was like, this is crazy. One thing I did notice, he introduced a bunch more characters. He introduced some HAL Laboratories characters. Lololo and La 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 are from the Adventures of Lolo are in this game. Is it possible that we'll get an Adventures of Lolo game down the road? No, probably not. But hey, seeing those two characters is heartwarming for me. I love that game on NES. It's one of my favorite puzzle games ever. And like, yeah, I was super excited by that. There's now 18 tracks in the game. 9 of them are remakes from the original game that none of us really remember. But like, they're like super faithful too. Like he's like, we remade them. We tried to keep them all the same thing, but like they run faster. So like everyone's records will be different. And insane attention to detail in a game like this. Like when this was first announced, I think it was at the April Direct, I was scratching my head like, really? This in the same year as Kart? Like you could have just put Kirby in Kart, right?
Yeah.
Like, but no, they couldn't. They had to do this. Apparently. So like, for Nintendo and HAL to come to him and be like, hey, we need your help to make this game, and he does this. I can't wait for what's next from this man. I think he has like a new like drive that the next Smash game's gonna be amazing. Like it's gonna. And also, like, he listened to fan feedback about Air Ride. Like, he went on the internet and he read everyone's critiques of the first Air Ride. All 12 of them. But, like, still, like, they're just... like... That's insane. There's so much that I left out, too, because it's just, like, an insane amount of things. There's, like, special vehicles. There's this, like... I can't remember what it's called, but it's, like... There's a vehicle that, like, transforms. It's, like a flying vehicle, but then it turns into a motorcycle, too. Like, I don't know. I'm looking forward to this game now. I'll say that. And like, I was kind of grumbling when I saw it originally because I'm like, give me an F-Zero game. But you know, whatever. If this was possible, they could remake anything. Like, put everything back on the table, David. Eternal Darkness could come back. Ice Climbers could come back. Anything's possible if this game happened in a launch year. That's the other thing. Like, that's crazy, man. Like, this is... Yeah. I don't get it. But maybe they finally figured out what I've been saying. People like racing games. And, like, I listed them. Diddy Kong Racing. Wave Race. 1080 Snowboarding. Rad Racer.
Yeah, Lego Racers, San Francisco Rush. The N64 had a ton of racing games.
So did the Cube.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But I'm going to say, like, Star Fox, they can make a new Star Fox game. If this can be made, they can make a new Star Fox game. Anything's possible. But yeah, it was actually an excellent direct. I think you're right, Don. He's become must-see television himself. His passion, his attention to detail, the silliness of his presentations, which is another thing that reminds me of Iwata. Like he tipped his hand about the remade levels, and he's like, "Oops, I leaked it." Like he's so damn memeable. Like, I don't know. It's a lot of it reminds me of Iwata, and then this year where a lot of people have said, "Oh, Nintendo's become this soulless corporation." That's heartwarming because outside of Miyamoto. You know, we talked about Doug Bowser basically not existing. Like, Reggie was kind of like that, too. Nintendo's lost some of that in recent years, and it's good to see that. But yeah, I thought it was an excellent direct. Which an hour and 45 minutes dedicated to a Kirby, not even a mainline Kirby game.
I mean, Nintendo is just more interesting overall when there is an upcoming or current Sakurai game that he periodically host directs for, you know? Whenever like a new Smash reveal was on the table, it was just everything was more interesting. Every direct, every showcase. Whenever he's in play for anything,
When
I
when
think
when
things
that
are more
man
exciting.
has his two pro controllers on the table and he's controlling both characters with both hands, like I'm like must see television. Uh,
Yeah.
he's like the one dev at Nintendo that I'm like, man, if he did a weekly live stream, it would be huge. Uh, but yeah, he's awesome. And yeah, he was like walking around TGS just checking out other people's games. Like he's still a gamer after all these years. But yeah, you can tell he still has the passion. It came through in that direct. So yeah, I want to talk about what we've been playing before, before we wrap up our episode. But I tried out Plants vs Zombies, David. Replanted.
Yes.
I'm digging it. I saw it got like it was trending over the weekend. Like people were grumbling about different aspects of it. Apparently, it's not like one-to-one how the touch mechanics work relative to how the touch mechanics work on iPad. Like I tap, when you're, the top screen where you pick the items or whatever. Like you tap the item and you can drag it, but it doesn't instantly drop. You have to tap it again to drop it. And apparently
Right.
that was a crime against humanity, according to some jaboofers on Twitter. I didn't really
Right.
care. I didn't find that to be a bad thing. I actually kind of liked it because it prevents incorrect inputs from me, which I did all the time
Yep.
on the iPad. Music still really good. I was like, oh man,
Yes.
I'm like back in that happy place that I was. I don't think I would ever play it on my television. I just want to play it in tabletop mode, or touch mode or whatever you want to call it, like the handheld mode. I still think it's too heavy. I think the device itself is too heavy for me to be playing games in handheld. But
Yeah.
I just plopped it down on my desk and I had football playing and I was just like, suddenly 10 levels passed and I was like, this game's delightful. But yeah, saw some people complaining about some ports to other platforms were not as good, I guess. I don't know. I think that it shines on Switch or Switch 2 because of the touchscreen.
So I've been playing it on my TV for the most part. And Amy's playing right next to me on PS5, and she hasn't had any complaints yet.
Mm-hmm.
So that port must be okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it was
but yeah,
mainly
like,
PC.
it was mainly PC. Okay, I know that people would probably grumble about that one. I don't know about the port specifically, but that's where Plants vs Zombies originated. So there's probably a lot of love for the original mechanics
Yeah.
as they were on PC.
Mm.
Like I know. When I tried mouse mode on Switch 2, it played a lot like the PC did, where you can't just drag your cursor over the sun. Just like in touchscreen mode, you have to tap it.
Yeah.
You have to click to collect things. And to me, that gets kind of tedious. I
Yep.
like having the cursor with a controller just to round things up.
I think that was one of the complaints I heard about was like mouse gameplay. Like they're like, it's ruined. The other thing I've heard is that it has some sort of game chat mechanic that's actually interesting. We might want to try it.
Yeah, let's try it.
Yeah, because I think that's but yeah, I'm into it. So I played that. But more importantly, Donovan, I'm rank E now in Pokemon Legends ZA. So that's good, right?
You were making it a good ways through that game. When you told me where you were in the story, I was like, all right, you're in it. You're playing.
Are you surprised? Did you think I was gonna fall off?
A little bit. I mean, you never know. It's always tough with Pokemon because people always ask me like, is this the one I like? I don't like Pokemon games. I haven't played one in so long, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'm a Pokemon fan, so I eat up whatever slop they put out. So I never know how other people will feel about it. So it's been cool to see you jump back in and kind of reacquaint yourself with that world.
Oh yeah, and like I went from like being on the struggle bus with my the second promotion match, and now I'm like kicking everyone's ass. I have a Feraligatr now. Like so, Totodile has evolved twice. I think this is his final evolution.
Yes.
I got Absol in the Mega Evolution for Absol.
Yes.
I'm still rocking Pikachu. I don't want to evolve Pikachu. I think I'm just gonna level up my Pikachu. I don't like.
Take the Ash Ketchum route.
Yeah, I don't like Raichu. I think kind of his butt. But also, like, isn't the DLC the Mega Evolution of Pikachu?
It's Mega Raichu, so you'll have to evolve
fine.
if you want that. Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll keep 2 Pikachus in my box and like evolve one.
Yeah,
That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah, I'll do that. So here's a dumb question from a Pokemon casual. How many boxes do I get? Like an infinite amount, or does it stop?
Yeah, I believe at this point it's infinite. They used to be capped in the old Game Boy and DS games, but I think at this point they just keep adding them. If you fill them all up, they'll just keep putting new ones on there for you.
And continuing my casual Q&A with Donovan the Pokemaster, there's this the Pokemon Center, right? They're all over the place in Lumio City.
Mm-hmm.
There are these dudes standing out there who are like lost Pokeballs. Has that always been a thing? Or how recent has that been added?
This is like a Switch era thing.
Okay.
Sword and Shield had Mr. Pokeball, who was like a mascot. He wore this big Pokeball head.
Yeah.
Who did something similar. Yeah. He was very memed to hell when that game came out. And yeah, this is a new thing. I don't think the last Legends game did this. But yeah, when you throw a Pokeball, if you just miss or you just throw it, don't hit a Pokemon, he'll just catch him and give him back to you. And people have tested. He'll even collect like the Master Ball,
yes,
which is incredibly rare. Which is cool. It's a good fallback because it can be a little tricky to figure out the catching system. So
sometimes it's not that it's tricky, but like, sometimes in a battle you're locked on with Z and you're just frazzled and you accidentally throw a ball.
Yeah.
That's most of my lost balls are just incorrect input ones. So those are extremely frustrating. So yeah, like I was playing this week and my brother, who's played a ton of Pokemon games, is like, did they just give you your balls back? Like, what? That's weird. Yeah. So these are the things that I'm discovering because I didn't play Sword and Shield and I didn't play like a lot of these recent mainline games. So I'm just like, that's really interesting. So these are like the weird quality of life things that I'm running into. I also got 100 balls because I digitally bought the game. Did you know that happened?
I know there were like pre-order and digital bonuses. I didn't get a lot of those because I had a review key for it. But yeah. But I know that's a thing. Yeah, they also give you stuff if you like buy the DLC. You get like cosmetics and stuff.
Well, I saw a physical copy of Pokemon at Meijer, David, and I saw the bundle. So clearly, it's not selling well, right? But yeah, you want to hear another dumb gripe? So it was raining in the game. Apparently, it rains sometimes. So I walk outside and they're like, "You have to battle." Can we talk about the influencer story arc? Is that
sure? Kanari, yeah.
Yeah. So this is where the writing is actually quite good, David. Kanari is this like streamer personality, and she's like super popular. And one of the members of your team, MZ, is like uber fan of her. So my level, what was it? The F promotion match is against Kanari, and you have to like do a bunch of stuff to get to that point. And one of them is you have to beat her, you have to win her quiz. She has like a fan quiz once a week, and you can get an autographed plushie if you do it. Which just the fact that they're promoting their plushies in this game, Donovan, is very Pokemon Company of them. And hilarious.
They're like gameplay mechanics, yeah, because you can, when you go to exchange the other plushies, they give you like boosts. Have you seen that? You go to the construction site and it'll like increase your catch rate, XP from battles, money earned, yeah.
That's just very Pokemon Company of them. So anyway, one of your friends, your teammates, David, this was it Naveen? He's like male loneliness epidemic, the character. But he's like I can't help you defeat Kanari. I would never do this. So you have to battle him outside of the hotel. And it's raining when you go out there, Donovan. But when you're in the battle, it's not raining.
I think your game might have just been raining that day. And then the scripted battle for the story, it's not supposed to be raining. Because raining is a gameplay mechanic. It makes water type moves more powerful. Fire moves are weaker. so they might have not have wanted that to be a thing for a story battle, I guess. But
Anyway,
yeah,
pre-order canceled because it wasn't raining in the battle. But maybe it stopped raining. You know how Canton is, David. Sometimes it's like pouring rain,
Oh
and
yeah.
5 minutes later it stops. So maybe I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But then when the match was over, it was raining again. Anyway, I defeat him and I go to the quiz. The quiz is hilarious because you meet this guy there who's like a super fan, David, and it's like just the way that guy talks to you, Donovan. The condescending nature of that guy is just so funny, man. Having been in this
white dude
industry,
with glasses. He's got like shaggy hair. That's
yes,
good.
that guy,
He's like, I'm her biggest fan. Trust.
yes,
Yeah. They make fun of a lot of not just streamer culture, but like streamer fan culture.
Yes.
Where they're like, oh, she recognized me in her chat. They do that whole thing.
it's a commentary on parasocial relationships at a time where in real life, Donovan, streamer culture is kind of being put under a microscope every day, especially this past weekend. But I found the commentary and the satire there, David, to be hilarious.
Okay.
So, like, the actual quiz was pretty interesting. It was fine. So, Naveen, because you beat him in the match, he helps you get to the end. And then you do this, you finally go to the promotion match. I don't want to spoil the whole holographic projection of the girl thing, but yeah, I found the match against Kanari to be fun. Once again, there's a song created just for that encounter, and it's really good. So check our YouTube channel. I'll probably be posting it even before this podcast goes live. But the music continues to be awesome. I messaged you after my first mega. I took down one rogue mega. That's how you get Absol or whatever. Every time I say Absol, I think of that guy from the, from Kendrick's crew.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
obviously,
Absol.
four-legged Pokemon versus Rapper from Compton. But yeah. But yeah, the Rogue Mega Evolution battles are fun. They're probably the most challenging part of the game. I think I've done 4 of them so far. Those are really cool.
Okay.
I keep getting the rocks or whatever. The balls, whatever the hell they call
The
them.
Mega Stones.
The stones. Sorry, the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
The Mega Stones. But they're for these Pokemon I don't have. So that's annoying. And I know you can buy some other ones. And I think now that I have a Feraligatr, I can go buy the Feraligatr one. But, so I finally have a thing to do with all those Mega Shards I've been collecting. So that's a good thing. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think it's, what I found is, I don't know if I've like made my team OP when it comes to promotion matches and when it comes to the battle zones, but like, I'm not losing really anymore.
Yeah.
But then you
It's
still get your ass handed to you in the wild zones.
That's where the biggest challenge would be because you get overwhelmed. The trainer battles is usually just one-on-one. Yeah, it's the classic Pokemon thing of like the main story stuff gets really easy, but then once you get to the postseason, they ratchet the difficulty up so much that you're like, I would have enjoyed some of this like during the actual story. Post-game stuff is really difficult, like the battles and stuff you do after you roll credits. They give you some more challenging stuff to do. But yeah, the story definitely gets to a point where you just don't lose unless you like forget that your game is open and somebody hits you a million times.
Well, here's an example of what I think is probably, I don't know if it's post game or just it's in the game, but it's emergent. I like found one of those teleporter things to the top of a roof. I don't know what the hell they're called. It's like an elevator, but it's a holographic one. I don't know.
Elevator.
Holovator. There you go. So I find one and I'm like, I guess I'll go on it. I get to this roof. I'm surrounded by Pidgeotos and like Pidgeys and like it's just all of them are there. And then there's this one alpha, like giant one. I got my ass whipped up there and fainted. Like that happened because I was like definitely underpowered. I didn't have the right team composition for the situation. So it's like random shit like that happens in the game where like you get your ass handed to you, but then it's like, oh, you gotta get all these tickets and all, you gotta get your promotion ticket and there's all this build up for the Kanari battle, and then I just like kick her ass. Like like 2 minutes. So it's just like, it's this interesting balance. But yeah, I saw you playing this weekend, so I assume that there's this like very long post game that's actually rewarding. But yeah, we're talking about it off the podcast, but like there's clearly some sort of storyline that intersects with X and Y that I am missing because I didn't really play that to completion.
They do a good job of catching you up when it matters, but yeah. And I mentioned my review, I was like, wow, this is kind of just like a sequel to X and Y, more so than like a return to Kalos. Yeah, there are characters that return. There are a lot of storylines and story threads that carry over. They confirm in game that I believe it's 5 years since the events of X and Y, which is a smaller time gap than I think fans expected there to be. So it's pretty close to those stories, yeah.
There was some mysterious guy with one eye that talked to me. It's some interesting stuff going on that I'm probably missing because I didn't really play the X and Y games to completion. Or sorry, yeah. Mm-hmm. But still interesting though. I think this game's it's like the beginning of the game is not well paced. It's not.
Very slow.
It drags. But like it's not like, oh, David, just play Donkey Kong for 5 hours. It's not that. It's like an hour. Right? Like it's not that bad. It's probably like the first hour is slowly paced. And it's done in a way where you're literally playing through a tutorial, right? Which I think for someone who hasn't been playing Pokemon in a while is good. Also for the introduction of these new battle mechanics, I think it's a good thing to do. But yes, there's a lot of text and it's tedious for about an hour. But after that, this game is extremely well paced. I like the feeling of the days. I finally took your advice about, I had to get like, I can't remember what his name is, Vincent. I had to battle him, and it took me more than one battle zone cycle to get all the ticket points I needed.
Yeah.
So I took your advice and I just sat on a bench and went right back into it. So like the fact that you can do that helps you progress even faster. So it's like as I've progressed, the game's become more fun to play, which I think is a good thing. In any RPG. I don't even know is this an action RPG? Is that still fair to call it that?
I would say so, yeah. That's how I'd describe it.
But yeah, it's I think the Mega Evolution has added a wrinkle to things that's quite good. So yeah, I'm digging it. I really do like this game, and I'm not surprised. It's kind of been every single time I saw it this year, I was like, I think I might actually play a Pokemon game. And I am, and I'm enjoying it, and it's taken up a lot of my time. But yeah, so far I really only played Plants vs. Zombies and that over the weekend. I did buy Power Wash Simulator 2, because I read TJ's review, and I just love Power Wash Sim. So I did buy it for Switch 2. I also have it for PC, so maybe next week I'll have some time with it, and I can talk about it. But, it's Power Wash. That's a different... I don't have enough time to be playing Power Wash Simulator for fun right now. I don't. And that being said, I'm spending hours playing Pokemon, even though Donovan already reviewed it for us. But, I'm kind of going through there and just being like, hey, this music's awesome. I'm going to capture it. Like, things that you weren't able to do. Should we talk about that thing I messaged you about? The ranking? The progression?
Vincent yeah. Sure, you can give like a light spoiler warning if you want. I've seen people talk about it, yeah.
Yeah, mild spoiler here. I've seen it on social media too. So, David, you know how the game's called Pokemon Z to A?
Yes.
It really shouldn't be called that. It should be called... I think I wrote this down. It should be called Pokemon Z to V, F to A. Because after you get to the V rank, this corporation, was it Quasartico? They invite you to their headquarters, and this guy Vincent's like, well, you guys are clearly some of the best Pokemon trainers in the world, and we want you to work with us. So we're going to skip you from V to F if you beat me. So it's like, you beat him, and you just see it go like, whoop. And I'm like, okay, that's just...
F the alphabet, yeah.
It's like, I'm like, really? Like, really? The game?
It's very anticlimactic. When I was playing for a V, I was like, Okay, that's strange. And I don't mention in my review. I just kind of allude to like some of the story decisions. I will say the game kind of redeems itself with that in the post game a little bit,
Yeah.
but I was kind of disappointed because I liked that you fight Zack and then
Yeah.
Yasmin and then they had the names with the letters and it was like progressively getting more difficult and like the characters you fought were like more and more story relevant as the time when I was like, this is fun. I'm gonna fight all sorts of random weird trainers, and then it's like, okay, I'm not gonna fight 26 people. I'm gonna fight like 12. Was a lot less interesting, and it's like such a Pokemon thing to like name the game after this whole thing and be like, it's called Z to A because you're in the Z Areal, and make it this like marquee event of the game. Then be like, okay, but for pacing purposes and to like get the story moving, we're gonna like skip you through half the ranks. It's very Pokemon.
Anticlimactic is what I would say, but also to the point about battling random people, random trainers. The battle zone does do that. Like, it does introduce you to random people. Like, everyone in town is a Pokemon trainer, right? So it's like the waitress at the restaurant, the chef, the construction worker, like random fanboy that you run into. Like, there's just, you'll see those people in the battle zones. And actually, I like how the battle zones reward you. Like, a lot of people have complained. Like, I think people who haven't played this game complain, oh, it's all repetitive. It's just the same buildings or whatever. There's like scaffolding and ladders and like there's ways to unlock other people that you're going to battle in a battle zone that I think people are kind of sleeping on. So I think it does reward exploration a little bit more. And obviously, you're running into thorn bushes and having to burn them with Charmander, or like, having a Bunnelby to take out those rocks or whatever. Like, you're going to have to do some of that stuff to unlock battles. But yeah, I agree that it was super deflating in that moment. I was like, aw. But
Yeah.
I still feel like you run into the random people. But I was expecting like 26, I was like, ah. And then it's just like, V to F, David. Whoop. And I was just like, okay, that's a choice. But like I said, still enjoying it, and that wasn't like a put the game down and discuss moment or anything. But yeah, I feel like my team composition is pretty good right now. I have a Charmander. I probably need to start leveling him up, because he's just a little baby. And I have my Pikachu and my Charmander, so I almost got the original starters or whatever. But yeah, digging it. Still recommend it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm still playing a bunch too. I'm trying to finish up my Pokedex that I want to go for 100% completion. So we'll see.
I don't know if I'll do that.
It's a lot.
But,
some of the challenges they give you to 100% the game are absurd.
So like in the in the wild zones, Donovan, like the thing I've noticed is like I'm not 100%ing any of the wild zones yet. And obviously because some of them have like there's barriers that I haven't gotten past. Are there times where like some Pokemon only spawn at night or day in them? Is that what's going on? Okay.
Yeah. In fact, almost all of them have at least one Pokemon with like a time-based or location-based spawn, right? Where like they only show up at night. I know, like I think it's Wild Zone 2. I think Staryu was like the night spawn there. The Graveyard one, like Honedge, you only get at night. But then there's somewhere like they're only in certain parts of a Wild Zone, like Pichu behind the rock in Wild Zone 1, or some you have to go up to like a rooftop in like the corner of it. So yeah, there's usually at least like one Pokemon in every zone that you got to do something extra for.
Okay, that makes sense. Just the way that I've been playing the game, I'm in the battle zone at night and I'm in the wild zone during the day. So I feel like I just need to like, as I get further in the game, I just need to start going to wild zones at night or when it's raining or whatever. So I'll start paying attention to that. But I think I think the wild zones might be the craziest part of the game. Like, or those random, like I said, the Pidgeotto on the freaking roof, like stuff like that.
Crazy.
Like the alpha Pokemon that just appear randomly and fuck you up. Like those are fun. But yeah. Sorry, David, have you been playing? What have you been playing on Switch 2 or just in general?
I've just been playing Plants vs. Zombies, man.
Yeah.
Amy and I are playing that like for hours. I think on Saturday we played it for like 4 hours and didn't even realize that amount of time had passed. Like I finished all the puzzle games. I'm making headway in the mini games. I finished all the survival. I'm in endless survival. I've been saving up. Like I have all the cards. I have all the like all 10 slots at the top. I've just been jamming on that.
It's been the perfect amount of time for me since I had that addiction to now come
Yeah.
back to it. Like,
Yeah.
the amount of time I've had between the original game and now is the perfect amount where I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna be like you, man. I'm gonna just like, it's now the game that like I'm going to play when I'm watching something on TV or when I'm listening to a podcast. Like, it's become that game for me where it's like Pokemon's almost too involved on it, and I can't do that. Like, I have to. And also, it's like, I want to read it. I want to, like, pay attention to Pokemon when I'm playing it. And I'm also enjoying it on my television, right? Like, it's 4K, although it's, it's a Pokemon game. But, like, I still am enjoying playing it with the Pro Controller, playing it on my television. So it's funny, like, just from a Switch 2 perspective, I've rarely played this thing on the screen that it comes with. That's a gorgeous-ass screen. 1080p HDR as fuck. Like, it looks great. That game looks great. Plants vs. Zombies looks great on it.
It does.
So I'm enjoying the hell out of it too, David. I'm happy to hear that. And then Donovan, you're still playing Pokemon, right?
Oh yeah, that's my go-to now, and probably will be until the next big Switch game comes out. Yeah, I'm loving it. It's been cool now that my friends all have it in our Discord. Every day, somebody's sending like a Pokemon they found, or the reaction to story stuff. I found 2 shiny Pokemon so far. I found a shiny Bellsprout when I was playing for review, and then a few days ago I found a shiny Ekans, which is green, which I thought was cool. So I'm grinding my way through that game.
I've seen some people who are like building teams that are just purple, or building teams that are like all like the all female Pokemon teams. Like, it's funny to see. Like, I think I do have a lot of female Pokemon on my team, but yeah, it's funny to see how different people are playing the game. I think that's
which I was excited for as a fan to see how the community would receive it. Like, people have been going crazy with photo mode.
Yeah,
it's probably the best photo mode in a Pokemon game. Yeah, it's been cool to see the reaction to it and how people are embracing it.
One last thing, I have no drip, none. I am dripless in this game, Donovan. I went to the stores. Okay, I don't know how many stores are in this game, but I was in like the Magenta district or something, and there was like a bunch of stores. So I went over there, and I'm looking at all the windows, and I'm like, none of it felt like I want to buy it. I was like, I'm good. Like, it's like me in Rocket League. I rocked the same basic ass car in Rocket League for like 8 years. And now here I am in Pokemon wearing the same MZ hoodie and my fedora that I got, my basic ass shit. Are there more? Like where should I be going to get my drip? Because I feel dripless right now.
I'll send you the ping or the pin for the shop area I'm thinking of. There's like a circular district you can go to shop, and there they have like these beanies. And the beanies are different Pokemon ears. So there's one where it's like yellow and it's got like the black tip to the ears like Pikachu. There's one where it's like brown and then white like Eevee. There's one where it's Gengar, so it's like purple and black. Those are cool. I think you'd like those. I found there's a store called Film Fan, and they have like knockoff like movie merch. So there's one where it's called like there's a movie that's called like Giant Charizard 2, and it's like Godzilla, but it's like this huge Charizard fighting like a Tyranitar, and they're like on a sweater and they're like over a city. But then there's a hat, and I forget what it's called, some random like knockoff name, but it's supposed to be Jurassic Park, but it's Tyrantrum, which is the T-Rex like rock Pokemon, and it's the silhouette and like the circle like logo
that's
on
awesome.
a hat. So I got that. Yeah, and then there's a sweater. And it's just called like Sharpedo, which is the shark Pokemon, but it's supposed to be Jaws, so it's like on the like water line, like chomping at like other Pokemon that are swimming by. So I'm just wearing like a bunch of like fake movie merch from Pokemon, which I'll probably never take it off.
I'm looking basic as fuck, and that's just boy, is that a trend in every game I play, unless I'm like forced to do something. But yeah, like I feel bad because I want to do some photo stuff, but like I'm also like I'm such a default character looking ass dude, and I like tried to find a different hairstyle because I don't like being the default hairstyle. But how many are there? Is there like, Do the different barbers have different ones, or is it all the same when you go to one?
I think they're all the same. The clothing stores are different, but like I think the barbers, I think it's all the same haircuts, unless I missed something.
I don't like them.
Which I only found like one that I liked. Yeah, there aren't. I mean, I feel the same way about clothes. A lot of great feminine
Yeah.
clothing options and hairstyles. Masculine stuff, pretty limited in relation.
I was at this store and it was
Yeah.
like fucking skinny jeans and medium shirts, and I'm like, I'm good. I'll just keep my money and buy more potions with it because I don't want any of this shit. I'll keep my fedora,
like, some
thank you very
cool,
much.
Like sweatpants and like athletic shorts and stuff. But yeah, they're like it feels like a million different like skirts and dresses and like tights and whatnot. But yeah, not as much on the other side. But that's fine.
It's fine.
Usually how it goes in these kind of games.
No, it's fine. But like, I was like hoping for like other hair options because I don't really like the default hair option, but I think it's the closest approximation to my hair that I can find.
Yeah.
And I know, like, there's not a whole lot of ethnic options either in this game, but
No.
which is a bummer. But at least I don't know. I'll be fine. But if you ever do see a basic ass Pokemon character on screen on the Shacknews YouTube channel, just know it's me. It's definitely me. But yeah, maybe with Donovan's recommendation, I will find some drip.
Yeah, I'll send you the stores I'm thinking of.
Because I am dripless, and it is. I don't want to adventure. I don't want to, take photos with my Feraligatr at the coffee shop, and everyone be like, "Look at this basic ass." Yeah, no. I'm already a casual. I don't need everyone judging my drip on Twitter.
Right.
I got enough of that in real life. I got cargo shorts. I wore cargo shorts so long, David, that they went out of style and back into style. Like the whole skinny jeans bullshit, like that. Yeah. We lapped it. It's like cargos are back now. So congratulations to the cargo pants mafia and the cargo shorts mafia. Although it's getting cold, no more shorts. Before we go, I want to talk about a game that should be on Switch too. Can you guys guess?
Gee,
Did you hear the news? We left this out of the news segment. And I kind of hinted at it when you were talking about the delayed release of Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition for Switch 2. It's no secret. I think Microsoft is like the fucking Mr. Bean of game developers. They love stepping on rakes. That's all I'm saying. And then like they're that gif of the guy trying to wash his car and they fumble everything. So Halo campaign evolved, David. You did
devolved from what I've seen.
So David, you did the first person shooter documentary. You talked about Halo in it, right? It's an important game.
Yes.
Halo Combat Evolved is like one of my favorite video games ever. And I actually played the campaign with my brothers all the time in split screen. Like that was like a weekend thing, right? Like hang out. We had my brother had a big TV down in Texas. We would play it. But yeah, they remade this game without the multiplayer. Yeah, you can play co-op multiplayer in the campaign, right? Fine. I believe it's in Unreal Engine 5, Donovan. Is that right?
Yes. So which is what they're going to use moving forward for Halo games.
Fine. It's a perfectly fine engine when you're a multi-trillion-dollar company that has destroyed a franchise. But yeah, so instead of giving us the multiplayer for Halo, they decided to just, here's the campaign. We've evolved it. They added a sprint function to this game. Okay, fine. Aim down sight, right, Donovan? Hasn't that been added?
Yeah, I believe they added it to all guns now.
All guns. Aim down sight. Other things have been added. But probably the most interesting news. This is coming out on PlayStation 5.
That's right.
Yeah. As GameStop declared the console war's over, and then the White House responded to it for some reason.
Okay. I wasn't going to bring it up. This guy did. I'm disgusted. Because it wasn't just, they tweeted, Donovan. They put Trump's head on Master Chief's body.
I
And it
felt
was
physically ill when I saw that.
as an
The
AI
image,
generated image. It's an
No.
AI generated image of the president as Master Chief. Between that and Cortana having to watch Master Chief have sex on that stupid show that they had. Remember that thing? Remember that, Donovan? Remember that? When they
I
made
remember the Halo show, yeah.
the Halo show where they took his helmet off on episode 2 and then they made him have sex in front of Cortana, David? This franchise couldn't be more dead than it is right now. This is the deadest Halo has ever been. Why I bring up the whole franchise being dead? When was the last time you played Infinite, Donovan? Was it with
Last time I
us
played
on
Infinite-
stream?
I'll tell you, the last time I played Halo Infinite, according to Steam, was February 18th, 2024.
Over a year. It's been over a year.
Yeah.
That's the
I
new
do not-
Halo.
I gave the game so much of my time, over 150 hours,
Look,
I had my fill.
but here's the whole thing. Why I bring up Halo Infinite. I think it's very important to bring it up here. Halo campaign evolved. They're reimagining or remaking the campaign from Halo. But what the fuck was the campaign in Infinite? It was the original fucking campaign reimagined. So it's like an admission that Halo Infinite sucks ass. It's like, or it's a postmodern feedback loop that Microsoft's in because they don't have an original thought in their head. This is what you do? Instead of making a new Halo that isn't shit, you make this? For what?
You're gonna get a new Halo.
Oh no shit, we'll get a new Halo. It'll run on Unreal Engine 5 and it might suck balls for all we know. But like, it's gonna be on PlayStation, we know that much. So here's my question and why we're talking about this on a Switch 2 podcast. Where the fuck's the Switch 2 version? If Matt Booty and Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer and all their bullshit PR speak from last week is true, that, we're gonna bring all of our exclusives don't matter anymore. Exclusives don't matter anymore, you guys. Did you hear the news? The exclusives don't matter. But boy, you need to pay $30 to get our Xbox games on Xbox Game Pass day one, David. You gotta pay $30 a month for their no longer exclusive games because they're putting... It's like if Mario was released on PlayStation 5. That's what just happened. Right. It's not like, the console wars are over. It's that Microsoft lost. It's not that... And it's like they shot themselves in the foot. They stepped on the rake. They fell down the stairs. They have so much money. More money than the rest of the video game industry combined. And Nintendo ran circles around them with a Tegra chip that was old in 2015. And it's like, this is news? This is big news? People are excited about this? Why are we excited about this? Our staff...
For a PlayStation player, I think that's exciting.
Yeah, it'd be really exciting if we got the Master Chief collection. Because that's actually...
Too. That's definitely going to happen.
Because that's actually good. It's shipped in horrible state, but it's actually good now. If I had to play Halo...
The best Halo thing out right now.
If I had to play Halo right now, I would fire up the Master Chief collection and probably play Halo 2 or 3. Right? Like, those are... I love those games. I am a Halo fan. Donovan's a Halo fan. Sam Chandler, our head of guides, might be the biggest Halo fan on staff. Ask any of us if we're excited to play this. I'm not. And like, little things, David. You remember the woohoo jump in the first level of Halo? It's that you're on the Warthog for the first time and you get to go off this jump. And like, what was Halo if not just Warthog the game, right? Like, it was just like, we were like, you can drive around a Warthog. Your friend can get in the car with you and you can go off a jump. They put a bunch of trees at the landing spot. You can't even do the woohoo jump anymore.
Yeah, they've changed some other things too. Jamie Griesemer, who was one of the original designers, went on and said, they moved this, they put this here. And he was like, the campaign was designed very thoughtfully so that you could and couldn't do just certain things at certain times because we were trying to pace the level. But also there are some things that were just fun, like the woohoo jump, and you can't do that now. So
it's like, okay, fine. This is like a big moment and a lot... I don't want to talk too much inside baseball, but Microsoft handpicked who had previews for this. Obviously, we weren't included, probably because they've heard me talking shit about them for the past year or however. That's fine. But, like, the way that they handled the messaging of this and the overwhelming positive nature of the influencer type people who were talking about it, I believe it was Thursday, Donovan, that they announced this.
I thought it was Friday.
Friday? Sorry, it was Friday. You're right, because it was like Friday afternoon, and then shortly after, Twitch dropped that apology message to Emiru. Because everything terrible comes out on a Friday. So yeah, like, over the weekend, a lot of people, it became, like, a lot of angry Xbox fans. Because I've said it before, if everything's an Xbox, nothing's an Xbox. If you're taking your flagship IP, that when I think Xbox, I think Halo. I think Master Chief. You take your flagship IP and you put it on your competitor's hardware, that's a failure. This is not a win. This is a fiasco for Microsoft. That this is where they're at. After all the money they've spent to take Epic Games' engine to remake your game, which was already it was reimagined in Infinite. This is basically saying Infinite wasn't good enough. Because why not just port Infinite to these consoles? But also, I want to bring this back to Switch 2. Because I have a problem with what's going on here. I have a big problem with Microsoft. And I think I think they're idiots. I just don't think they understand how to make money off of games anymore. Because I think they can double dip on Switch 2. I think that's how they're behaving. David, you're like, oh, Donovan, you both are like, oh, we're going to get Doom the Dark Ages on Switch 2. Fine. I don't think they're going to even sell 100,000 units by the time it comes out, because it's already out on PC, it's already out on Game Pass, and it's already out on PlayStation 5. Sony has figured out what double dipping means in 2025. It's release your system, release on your system. Spider-Man, right, Donovan? Miles Morales. A year or two later, port it to PC. That is double dipping. Because Steam Deck has eaten Switch's lunch when it comes to third-party software. It's not the same story anymore that was true on Switch 1. Oh, you could double dip on Switch 1. Rocket League double dipped on Switch 1, right? Stardew Valley. Like, all these games came out on Switch 1 after they were on PC or consoles. It worked when there weren't PC handhelds. And this is my point. What did Microsoft ship a week ago? A PC handheld. Which they also handpicked the influencers who reviewed it. So it's obvious to me that Microsoft is being anti-competitive with respects to Nintendo specifically. Because we're getting Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, but not on Switch 2. We have no Doom the Dark Ages. No Outer Worlds 2. But they simultaneously shipped Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3+4? Because reasons? We have Overwatch 2 on Switch 2, but we don't, like... What is the strategy here? Because you're not going to sell units doing this. Because you're putting your games out day and date on PC. Steam Deck exists. Like, if you really want to play an Xbox released game, like the Gears of War game or whatever, in handheld, you have options now. You can play it on the ROG Xbox Ally, you can play it on the Steam Deck, you can play it on the Lenovo, whatever the fuck it's called. But like, there are viable options to play handheld games that are released day and date with the Xbox release and with the PlayStation release. They can't double dip on Switch 2. It's not going to work the same way as it did on Switch 1. It's just not. Now, something as unique as Halo on a Switch 2, sure. Maybe that's the exception to this. But do you really think Fallout 4, a 10-year-old game, is going to move units on Switch 2 months after it comes out on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox?
No, but couldn't this also just be a case of it's like more challenging to develop Switch 2 ports? I mean, we just saw Borderlands 4 Switch 2 port got delayed, Elden Ring got delayed. I think it's just clear that that's the harder one to develop ports for. It's easier to port a game to PlayStation or PC than the Switch. I don't feel like they're like the games are done and they're like we're just not going to release this yet. I think it's just Switch 2 ports there. We said it in the show. They're a coin toss. They're I don't know. They take additional development time and resources.
10-year agreement. I had to bring it up for Call of Duty games. That was signed to be for this deal with Activision Blizzard to be approved in Japan. A 10-year commitment. And it's been 3 years, and they haven't gotten jack shit on Nintendo. What is going on at Microsoft? And also, this other news story that came out that's tangential to this whole thing. They're targeting 30% profit margins at Microsoft Gaming's division, right? That is an absurdly high profit margin for a game company. I point out in the article that I wrote for that news, Nintendo's last quarter, their profit margin was 16%. So Microsoft is targeting double the profit margin of Nintendo in 2025 without new hardware. Leave the Xbox the ROG thing alone. Without really any major new games and with very few exclusives. How do you make more money releasing your software on a storefront that you have to give 30%? How? How are you going to make more money selling PlayStation games with... It's so baffling, man. They don't... This is like... You ever just see someone and you're like, they're being set up for failure? Mm-hmm. Microsoft, the folks, and I think there's people at Xbox who are trying. And I feel bad for them. They're being set up to fail. It's going to happen in the next 4 years. Microsoft's going to kill the Xbox brand entirely.
I think that, didn't Sarah Bond say that there will be another Xbox hardware,
Yeah.
but it's going to be premium as hell? Like, it's going to cost a lot.
Okay. Are you already shooting yourself in the foot by just saying that?
I think so.
Like,
yeah, I don't know who would buy a premium. Like, you get to a certain point in console prices where you're better off just investing in the gaming PC.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's probably what this is going to be in some form.
Yeah, it's going to be a PC for your TV. But and it's probably going to run Windows 11. And it'll have Copilot in it, right? Like, it's... The other thing, Dom, you brought up about developing games, and maybe it's hard on Switch 2 versus these other ones... The chip architecture in the PS5 and the Xbox Series X are identical. So it must be easier. You know, Nintendo went with the Nvidia platform. Both Microsoft and Sony are AMD chips. And they'll probably copy that with the next gen as well. You know, Sony and Mark Cerny and AMD, they had that presentation about the next chip. So I'm sure Microsoft will just copy off their paper again, right?
You know, that was another Cerebon thing. They said that they partner with AMD for their next console.
Yeah,
like,
whatever.
That was a Summer Jeff thing, yeah.
And, I have nothing against Sarah Bond. I think she's being set up for failure, is all I'm saying. Because 30% margins are your goal. And now you're going to take 30% of the revenue that goes from PlayStation to the Halo game. You're taking 30% out of your pocket just by selling it on that platform. How does that make any sense? I can't square that circle. And what was the point of acquiring all these studios? So you could become the largest game publisher on Earth? Was that the point of this? I thought it was exclusives. Why buy a bunch of third-party developers only to turn yourself back into a third-party developer? And you're going to claim that margins have to be at industry highs. Best in the industry. I don't get it. And this is a failure. This is like what a desperate company does. And yeah, we're going to get Indiana Jones. We'll see how it sells. Oh, wait, we won't, because Microsoft doesn't tell us how anything sells. Ever. We don't know a single game's unit sales from Microsoft. Third largest company in the world. Can't tell us how many Xboxes they've sold. How are we supposed to trust this company when they say shit like this? If you're a consumer and you bought the Xbox instead of the PlayStation, you feel like shit right now. What is there? Like, why have an Xbox? If Halo's on PS5, like, Sony has it figured out, man. They release their games on their system. Marvel's Wolverine is not going to simultaneously ship on PC. They have figured out how to double dip. And it's effective. It's making them money. Microsoft trying to double dip on the Switch 2 is not going to work. Just throwing it out there. It's not going to work. Yes, there are some people who only own a Switch 2, and they might buy Doom because it's the only way that they can play Doom. But that number would be bigger if it was a simultaneous ship, just like Tony Hawk. Or even Madden, Donovan. Like, Madden was on top of the eShop for a couple of weeks. Or it was even number 2 to Donkey Kong for a while. So, like,
it was.
We have the data. Like, simultaneous shipping benefits developers on the Switch too. And it benefits Nintendo, obviously. And that's why Microsoft doesn't want to do it. And then they can point to these weak sales and be like, oh, Fallout 4 on Switch 2 underperformed our expectations. Well, it's because your expectations are stupid. They're based on what Switch 1 was. And I can't trust them. I simply can't trust them. I don't think anyone should. And I think people who are invested in that ecosystem feel bad. And I don't blame them. I don't. Like, it sucks. If you didn't own a PS5 and you're sitting on an Xbox Series X right now from 5 years ago, how do you feel about this generation? Like, you missed out on Last of Us Part 2. You missed out on Spider-Man. Like, and then you get Halo. And albeit probably the worst Halo. Like, I don't understand what this Halo is and why they're doing this. And what are they going to do next, Donovan? Are they going to ruin Halo 2 next?
I don't know. I personally don't care too much about the remakes. I never get too caught up in remakes ruining games because the old ones still exist and Master Chief Collection still exists. I think the next Halo will be probably just a new thing. Probably, I don't know. I don't know what they'll call it. It can't be Halo 7 or 8 or whatever the hell at this point. But I imagine it'll just be like a ground up something new, which I think the series needs. But we'll see.
That was what Infinite was supposed to be.
I liked Infinite. I like that game, so I don't look at that as like a. It's not a joke to me. I thought that game was fun. It didn't sustain.
That's my take, though.
As I wanted it to.
They should have ported Infinite to PS5 and given it crossplay.
I mean, if Infinite came out today, it would have been 100%. I think that would have been what happened.
It's just sad. It's sad that Infinite gets lost in all this. And like, I agree, Donovan. I also have over 100 hours played in Infinite. I liked it.
Fun game.
I liked Infinite. I even liked the story. I can't remember the last time I played through a Halo campaign, like actually enjoyed it. I didn't like 5. I didn't like 4 or Reach was okay.
Probably Halo 3 for me. I liked that campaign.
Yeah, that game I liked Reach, but like that was it.
Oh yeah.
But like I guess all I'm saying is I question their logic. And I see down the road how they're going to be like, oh, these Switch ports aren't performing well. No shit. Simultaneously ship them and then see. If you're, we're no longer in we're competing with Netflix, Donovan. We're competing with TikTok. It's all about screen time. They're using the same language that like Fortnite uses. But they're not Fortnite. Like, they're not Nintendo. And it's just, I don't know. I'm with you, Donovan, in that, like, yeah, I have Master Chief Collection. I'm not going to be upset about this. But, like, it seems pretty obvious that they've chosen PlayStation over Nintendo right now. And that's really interesting. I find that very interesting, that they've chosen to do that. Before we go, I have to give everyone an update. I said on the last episode, I would email Nintendo PR about Nintendo today. I got a reply. I got 2 replies. One was that they were looking into it for me. So I appreciate the PR for even sending my question. And to reiterate, here's what I asked, okay? I am a daily user of Nintendo Today. That's a fact. App. And I noticed that it now allows for screenshots and screen recordings to be taken on iOS again. Was this intentional? And are screenshots or videos allowed to be reposted on social platforms? I know the update added a share link function, but I was curious if there have been other shifts in the efforts to make content more shareable. So they looked into it for me. Here's the reply.
Finally, an answer.
Thanks for your patience. It was like only like 2 days later I got this email. We have nothing additional to share on this topic.
Well, I mean, glad we got that cleared up. Glad that's all straightened out.
So there you go. I told the listeners I'd do it. I just wanted to show them, hey, I tried. I'm going to go out on a limb, Donovan, and assume that I shouldn't share a screenshot publicly from that app. I tested it today.
Yeah.
I tested it today. I could still screenshot it. So be careful out there, kids who have social media accounts. But yeah, I would not screen record that thing. I have a feeling, obviously not confirmed because there's nothing additional to share, but it was probably a mistake. I think you're right, Donovan. I don't think that was intentional. So
I think it's just an accidental byproduct of whatever the last patch they pushed, and it'll be gone soon. Keep
your eye out for another patch, and then I will update this story when we get the next patch. But I just want our listeners to know that I wasn't full of shit. I actually emailed them. I wanted to show people the kind of response that you get when you ask a question like this. But I did it. I did it for you, Shacknews. And I'll do it again. But yeah, it's I found that to be a very Nintendo-ass answer about a Nintendo-ass thing, which is that app. And then maybe next week David will actually use the app between now and then. I don't know. Probably not.
Nah, probably not.
You just let me tell you what I see on it.
Yeah.
But it's like
I forget it exists.
Every week.
I have it downloaded. Yeah.
You're even logged in.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I've been 2 documentaries and a long read. I'm not checking Nintendo Today. I just don't have time.
It's become... Look, Twitter's awful. I don't have a blue sky. I'm not cool enough to have a blue sky. I basically live on YouTube. I'm talking to people on YouTube right now. But and obviously we're making content for YouTube. You spent a lot of your time the last month making content for YouTube, for Shacknews.
Right.
So
right.
I find Nintendo Today to be a nice respite from the rest of the internet. It's
True.
I go there, I see a picture of Kirby. I have my calendar set to be Zelda themed, and then I also only follow F-Zero news. So when there's F-Zero 99 news, I am told about it via the Nintendo app. Apparently, there was something on there. Let me see if I can find it.
I think that's part of the problem. Right now, I'm not interested in Kirby Air Riders. I'll play it most likely, but I'm not checking my app every day for Kirby Air Riders news. Now, once they announce a new Mario or a new Zelda, which is something I'm interested in, I'll probably check it more often. But right now, there's nothing that interests me enough to open it.
It's essentially an F-Zero 99 calendar for me, and I haven't been playing it regularly because I've been stuck in Pokemon right now. And before that, it was, I've just been playing a lot of these games. There's a mini World Tour week happening in F-Zero 99 that I wouldn't have known about, and it'll probably make me want to play it because I like the World Tour. But yeah, so it's little things like that. I do think it's good at that, but you're right. I just scrolled through it, David. It's Kirby Air Riders, Kirby Air Riders, Kirby Air Riders, Donkey Kong, Bonanza, and then a Pikmin mobile app. So none of that would you care about.
No.
So, no, not surprised. But anyway, action-packed show we had here.
Busy week.
I'm sure this one won't be, right?
Definitely not. Yeah, we're not going to get a Tuesday and Wednesday full of announcements right after we do our show.
Also, lol at Nintendo Music dropping Metroid 2. I said Link's Awakening, not Metroid 2.
That's a good soundtrack, though.
It is. It is. I'm not mad at it. I'm happy for Metroid fans. Like that is an iconic soundtrack. But this drip drop in Nintendo Music is so weird. Like, just I'm asking for a Game Boy game and like a Switch game like that's already out. Like, just give, please. But no, we got Kirby Air Ride, so that's something. And
I mean, that's the thing. They tend to be. This was not the case with Mario Kart World, obviously, but they tend to run a campaign for upcoming games, and that campaign includes Nintendo Music. Like, we've got a Metroid game coming out in like a month and a half or something, so they're going to release some Metroid stuff, including a Metroid 2 soundtrack.
I'll be honest, it gets me to open the app every time. That is an app that you do use, right? Occasionally.
I do use that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So like I have even seen you screenshot like the announcements or whatever they make in the app, but like, yeah, frustrating. Nothing additional to share. So we're done. We have nothing additional to share on this episode of This Week in Switch 2.
Nope.
If you like this, like, follow, and subscribe here on YouTube. Or, we're on the various podcast facilities where you can vote for Shacknews, give us a 5-star review. I don't know what the kids on Spotify do with Podcast Time. And like, is there something?
They're podcasts. I don't know if that's even like a big thing with my generation. I listen to podcasts, but I don't know if like a lot of people my age do.
His
like
generation. This dude's a year from being 30. He's about to turn into
True.
dust like the rest of us, David.
That's how it works, Donovan. You go from young to dust. There's no in between.
Oh, I've been feeling it. I know. I've got a 20-year-old brother who does not let me forget it. So
That 10-year difference, man. It gets narrower as you guys age. So when he's 40 and you're 50, it won't be a big deal anymore. But like right now is that that's a wide gap. Half of his life. That's how much older you are than him. But yeah, yeah, good episode. We'll see you guys next time. I'm sure nothing will happen between now and then, right? No crazy announcements, right, Doug Bowser? Enjoy your 65 days, Doug. I don't know. Maybe like participate in a direct. Like, do we think we get another direct between now and the end of the year? Metroid, maybe.
Probably Metroid, I would think.
Right?
yeah, you might get a Metroid deep dive. Nothing else though.
Yeah, man. 2 deep dives into Kirby Air Riders though. Wild. Anyway,
What a world.
just yeah. I'm sure nothing crazy will be announced. By the way, check out our documentary on the making of Borderlands 4. 24 to launch. It's on our YouTube channel that you're watching this on. Also, our PlayStation 2 25th anniversary feature, where Donovan talked about Dragon Ball Z Budokai, and we all talked about GTA, and Donovan wasn't allowed to play San Andreas. He's that young. Meanwhile, David and I have like 800 hours combined in that game. That would be cool. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.